Let's dive in. The war in Ukraine has the world on edge, and the US blames Russia, hitting them with tough sanctions, especially on oil. The US told everyone, stop buying Russian oil. But India didn't listen. India snapped up Russian oil at a discount, making things tense with the US. Imagine a group boycott, but one friend keeps going for the cheap lattes. That's India. Then a top US official called the conflict Modi's war, directly blaming India's prime minister. This wasn't just a slip. It was a public accusation that shocked both Washington and New Delhi. For India, it felt like the US was trying to strong-arm them into picking a side. India's government was furious, seeing this as the US ignoring their economic realities and historic ties with Russia. The US accused India of funding a brutal war by buying cheap oil. This controversy strained a partnership that's supposed to counter China's influence in Asia. The US frames this as a moral issue. India sees it as economic survival for over 1 billion people. Modi's war became a symbol of the deep divide between these two democracies. The US wants India as an ally, but public shaming isn't helping. India's energy needs clash with US foreign policy, and neither side is backing down. This single phrase captured the massive gap in how both countries see their roles in the world. After the accusations, the US hit India with a 50% tariff on key exports: textiles, steel, and more. Tariffs are taxes on imports, making Indian goods much pricier in the US. This was no gentle nudge. It was economic punishment for buying Russian oil. The US even added a 25% penalty specifically for India's Russian oil and weapons deals. The logic: India's payments to Russia help fund the Ukraine war. By making Indian exports expensive, the US hoped to pressure India to rethink its choices. For Indian businesses, this was a nightmare. The US is a top customer, and now their products are priced out. The message: your Russia ties are costing you in America. This is modern diplomacy. Tariffs instead of troops. The US is betting India needs American markets more than cheap Russian oil. It's a high-stakes game of economic chicken. The tariff move was a direct challenge to India's independence. Both sides are risking a lot, and the fallout is real for businesses and workers. Economic tools are now the weapons of choice in global disputes. The US-India relationship just got a lot more complicated. From India's view, the US tariffs and Modi's war comment were outrageous. India's priority: affordable energy for its massive population and economy. Cheap Russian oil isn't about politics. It's about survival and keeping inflation down. India argues it's being unfairly singled out while others still buy from Russia. They see this as the US holding a developing country to a higher standard than its own allies. India values its US partnership, but won't sacrifice economic stability or its historic Russia ties. The government stands firm: national interest comes first. The balancing act is tough, but India won't back down under pressure. Despite the drama, neither side wants to end the US-India partnership. Top officials are working to calm things down, stressing the long-term importance of the relationship. Both countries need each other to counter China's rise in Asia. Strategic cooperation on defense and technology is at stake. Trade talks are now crucial. Can India cut Russian oil? Will the US ease tariffs? Diplomats are scrambling for compromise behind the scenes. Public fights and private reassurances happen at the same time. The future of the alliance depends on finding middle ground. The tariffs are already hurting Indian businesses. Job losses, uncertainty, and economic pain. The government is scrambling to protect industries and find new markets. Quick solutions are needed to soften the blow and reassure exporters. Negotiation is the only way out. India wants tariffs gone. The US wants less Russian oil. A deal would prove the partnership can survive a crisis. This episode shows how global conflicts create ripple effects everywhere. The outcome will define US-India ties for years and send a message to the world. Both sides are searching for a solution that lets them stay partners without losing face.